them out of position, and whether or not CLG kind of falls for it. CLG definitely, they have a nice mix of damage, they have a nice mix of survivability. So if they can survive through the initial burst that TSM has, survive particularly through that Cassiopeia ult, then there's a high potential for them to turn around the fight with all of that sustained damage that they have, for their team.
It's definitely, if they can survive the burst and position really well, they can definitely win a fight. However, you got to keep in mind the damage is huge. They can't have more than 3 people get hit by multiple AoEs. If 3 people get hit by Vlad AoE and Cassiopeia AoE, I feel like TSM has already won the fight.
And Ashe is bottom, still is, has that ultimate range. Actually, the ward misplaced for Xpecial, I'm sorry, that was from CLG over the wall. So Xpecial going to be able to take that down. Ashe just going to turn back and push down bottom a little bit. We have a little bit of harass going on from Reginald. But I don't know, we'll see. It's about that point where the game is just going to explode. We do see Ashe continuing to get that farm. Needs to get up to his team because right now CLG has the advantage. We'll see whether or not they pressure. We do have the ward in here from TSM, so they know that they're going for Baron now, and CLG just actually starting it. They are trying to start a fight here, and TSM will be here shortly. Do you think that this is a fight that CLG can win, or is all this AoE too bad?
TSM can potentially win because they're going to be...
The arrow coming in. We did have St. Vicious coming in here. There's all this AoE damage. Reginald, where's your ultimate? It's already gone out, actually, so there it is. St. Vicious going down. Maokai coming into Double Lift, slowing him down a little bit, but Double Lift has that red buff, is okay. Dyrus going down, there it is. Chaos trying to get the kill, but not able to follow it up. So CLG actually able to win that fight. They are all very low, but able to use their single target damage and then just, get away from TSM and not allow, Chaos or Reginald to get the full damage that they wanted.
I felt like if TSM could have very easily won that fight. The moment they saw CLG run out of pit, they could have just easily backed out and wait for Ashe to regroup and just be there for the fight. Missing an AD carry for about 5 to 7 seconds of a fight can easily swing it from a 3 or 4 kill to losing 3 or 4.
And it's just astounding if you look at how farmed Dyrus and Double Lift are, both in control of their lanes. Dyrus, 260 CS almost, 27 minutes in as Vladimir. He is able to survive through any burst that CLG has with that Zhonya's. Double Lift on the other side has all of his burst damage. So the key is Ashe catching up, but at the same time, Chaos has been able to farm very effectively, is significantly ahead of Olaf, will have that nice range damage. So if TSM can, get CLG in the pit, if they can get them all grouped up, we'll see how that AoE damage works out for them. But CLG definitely has a lot of control, with the Sona ultimate, with the snare from Ryze, and right now control over the Baron. So they have to force TSM to bring the fight to them.
So one thing CLG knows is TSM CD is definitely still on cooldown.
And here is actually an arrow. Ashe wasn't there, but there is the arrow hitting St. Vicious. We'll see if they go in on this. Hotshot using his ultimate. TSM definitely probably wants to disengage, so we see the Shurelya's from the Odd One, allowing them to back off. CLG not pursuing it, didn't want to all walk up into that AoE, and that threat, really scary for them. Hotshot, his ultimate is down, so there it is. St. Vicious engaging Odd One with that twisted advance. All that damage from Double Lift, that AoE damage, but TSM is going to win this fight. It is huge. We have Chaos flashing after Big Fat. Can he get the slow? There is the slow. Big Fat LP turning back into it, but goes down, and now TSM is going to be able to take this Baron. This is going to be a Baron. That was a 2-for-0 fight. Double Lift over this wall, has a lot of burst damage, but definitely doesn't want to walk into the team. So TSM, with that great Baron potential that they have, will be able to take this and continue with their lead in this game.
I feel like TSM can very easily get this Baron. Because one thing about Maokai's passive is it's going to keep him very, very healthy throughout the fight, and even if you're low in health, you're able to do Baron and not lose.
Wow! So Chaos able to pick up the kill onto Double Lift. He's actually chasing after Hotshot now. Can he get the slow? He's fast enough, just barely able to get out of range. So Chaos maybe see some nice kiting there if Hotshot turned back into him. But another kill for Chaos. This is huge. It's 5-5, but they are up 5,000 gold. They have all these towers pushed down, all those dragons. That Baron will allow them to be even more aggressive, but at the same time, it'll be interesting to see, how much pushing capability they have. They have all of this wave clearing potential. Reginald can just constantly pile on the waves on CLG, zone them underneath the tower. So do you think that TSM is going to push mid using that Cassiopeia to try and zone CLG?
I think at this point in the game, with Baron buff and blue buff, and the gold advantage they have, they're going to be able to just keep on taking each outside tower. They might start with bottom, rotate to mid, and then rotate to top. And so really, I feel CLG doesn't have anything to defend against Cassiopeia, Ashe, and Vladimir. Vladimir can just walk in, have 4-stack tides, and hit E once, and just decimate an entire wave. Same with Ashe, he can just throw out a volley. Malachi can throw down saplings to clear waves. So there's going to be no creeps under CLG's tower, and they're going to be eating just constant harass and poke from Malachi, Cassiopeia, and Ashe. And it's going to come to the point where they're going to lose so much HP that they're going to have to give up tower. You know, this isn't really the CLG poke comp, but there's enough poke component in it where if they slip up just a little bit, they're going to get hit. Not chunk, but you know, you get hit enough, you're going to be low enough where one team can take advantage of that.
Chaos going to work on St. Vicious, taking him below half health, is going to be pushing down that bottom lane. We'll see if TSM, with the split push, is trying to pull them out of position in this jungle. They definitely have the option for engaging, maybe even go after this red buff. Doublelift right now is going to be going for it. They don't have the best ward control, so it would be kind of scary, but here now they see TSM coming mid lane. And in the meantime, Chaos still comfortable with farming, still comfortable with holding Shyvana bottom. Recognizes that, you know, if the team fight is centralized around one area. Wow, actually St. Vicious coming into Chaos. Chaos going to chase him down. There's the arrow, not able to hit it. So again, you know, Shyvana a little bit weak right now. We'll see whether or not Chaos comes mid and pushes with TSM.
That was a little odd because I felt like Chaos could have killed Shyvana. He understood that she was going to use her dragon form to ult away. That's why he delayed his arrow. And what he messed up on was he didn't understand the trajectory of dragon form, because once you hit dragon form, whatever direction you're going on, you're going to go there until you land. So it was, I felt like it was a very hittable arrow.
And so the arrow will be down, but it is a very short cooldown, so always an option, but you know, that kill definitely would have been devastating for CLG at this point. TSM so strong right now. Shyvana, again, pushing down that bottom lane, wants to just keep all the lanes pushed, and that's a lot of what we've seen from CLG is their ability to stall out games with that aggressive split push, not giving you the opportunity to push down lanes, but with how aggressive TSM's team is, it also opens up ganking opportunities, and that's always the concern for CLG.
The reason why CLG's split pushing comp works so well so many games is because the person that's split pushing is generally so strong that when they send somebody to stop them, that split pusher is generally able to kill that person. However, you know, CLG is so far behind where, you know, TSM can send just about anyone to stop the split pusher and maybe pick up a kill. And if the kill converts, TSM can then again just regroup as 5 and push afterwards with an advantage, and it's very easy for them to take towers.
So Saint pushing down bottom, Hotshot pushing down top. We see that double split, but Reginald going to be coming up, stopping this push down there. I'm a little bit surprised we don't see, you know, the gank, but here it is actually coming on to St. Vicious. Odd One going to be coming down. St. Vicious going to be able to get out of there. Odd One, you know, Shyvana and Hotshot on Olaf, they definitely are both very survivable. They have the movement speed to get out of ganks. The question is if you get a hard engage. And TSM definitely has that hard engage potential. We'll see whether KX chases him down. He does have that red buff. He does have his arrow, not going to throw it. So just comfortable with, you know, slowly pushing this lane, taking advantages, not allowing Shyvana to farm. And now TSM is going to be able to take this dragon and continue their advantage. We'll see, you know, whether or not we see an Ashe arrow shortly. We do have all of CLG grouped mid. After this dragon, TSM's in the perfect position to come in on them, and that arrow is going to be really difficult for Doublelift to avoid. He does actually hit Chouster, so here's the engage. Odd One coming in with the triple advance, and there it is. Chaos able to pick up the kill. Doublelift flashing over the wall, but the whole of TSM is pushing mid.
Basically, after they pick up the kill, and they saw that Graves is running top, they know that it's going to take a while before he actually gets back, so they understand that if they just push down mid, they're able to get this tower before Graves actually make it back. So TSM is just going to take this tower really quick and back up and look for another push elsewhere.
And so again, TSM just, you know, that extreme aggression, that Ashe arrow for the great initiation, taking advantages in this game. Is there a point where CLG, you know, they have a lot of late game potential with Olaf and with Ryze. Is there a point where you see their tankiness trumps the double AP, or is it just all this AoE? We actually might have a twisted advance once again, not going to be able to get in range, actually turning back into him, so trying to get a fight going off. We do have the Ghost from Hotshot. He's going right onto Chaos, doing a lot of damage. The rest of the team's kind of split. Odd One with the snare. We do have the St. Vicious engage, but there's the Reginald ultimate. They will be able to get out of there, not turning back onto them. So TSM able to disengage there very effectively. But
that was a very, very good fight for TSM, because if you think about it this way, TSM does have a Soraka, and they didn't really blow any CDs on that fight. Actually, no, Cassiopeia used her ultimate. Cassiopeia and Soraka, but you know, the next fight is going to come around where I feel like they're just going to be able to press it down. I don't think they burnt many summoner spells though.
Yeah, no, most of their summoners are up still. You know, the Ashe arrow is still up. We do have the blue buff going on to Reginald, so he was low mana. He's going to be fine. But the question is, CLG, is there a point where CLG becomes too tanky, where you know they can start being very effective in fights, or do they just really need great control? But once again, we have the Ashe arrow over the wall. They're not going to engage on it, trying to see if they could pick someone up right at the edge of the wall there. But is there a point where CLG, you know, really comes into their own in this team and can just hold off until then and then try and take it, the fight to TSM head on?
I felt like there could have been a point, but you know, AD does scale so much better than tanks. You know, you build a person full tank and you build a person full AD. It comes to the point where even if the person has all the tanking items in the world, the AD is going to be able to rip them apart. And so when you're building tank, they scale up better early, but they don't scale as well late. Just because there's so many multiplying factors for damage for ADs. You have the crit, you have the attack speed, and you have the crit damage. So it's getting to the point where, because Hotshot fell too far behind early, that he didn't have the early game tanking advantage, and it's getting late enough where Chaos is going to have so much farm that he's going to be able to just shred through whatever Hotshot has.
And here's the key of this game. The Baron is up once again. TSM will be able to bait the fight there. We do have CLG with this you know, counter invasion here, able to take that blue buff from Reginald. He did get their blue buff earlier, so he will have one of his own. But if TSM can, you know, maybe bait a fight at Baron, that's definitely where they have the best potential, when they can get those Ashe arrows right in the middle of the open field, and all of CLG is here.
This could be a fight.
Yeah, Shyvana is top, so we'll see whether or not TSM engages. They're actually just going to let them back off. So do you expect that TSM immediately coming to Baron, trying to bait a fight, get that Ashe initiation?
So the way CLG is playing this game is they just want to continually split push and spread out TSM thin and force TSM to make a mistake. So one way you can go about that is you either group up and force a fight or look for a fight and just force them to keep on running out. And if they run out, you continue to press forward as 5 and keep on pressing forward.
But there's the arrow from Ashe onto St. Vicious. He does have his dragon form, so he will be able to get out of there. There it is. He's still slowed. We do have the Shurelya's, but they're going to turn away. In the meantime, we have CLG pushing down this bottom tower, recognizing, you know, Saints distracting him up top, taking that advantage. And so CLG, it seems like they're so just far behind, they can't really do anything. But at the same time, that great map control, we see CLG taking those advantages. But actually, Chaos able to find St.